right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Wet, not white. This next weather system, it's a good rainmaker for the St. Louis region when the rain rolls in and when it moves out.
Show me the tech talent. Tonight, the new program offering free training to create a pipeline to high-paying jobs. Our top story, passing the blame on a marijuana mistake that cost the city of St. Louis more than $500,000.
But I would also include the Board of Aldermen of having missed this.
I would push back and say I don't believe that it's the Board of Aldermen's fault.
Tonight, aldermen fire back after a blunt assertion made by the mayor's office.
More on that in a moment, but first we start with breaking news. Late tonight, St. Charles County Police confirmed officers are in the middle of an active police investigation in Defiance that has lasted for much of the day.
The investigation is focused on an area of Defiance near the intersection of Highway D and DD. 5 on your side crews were in that area today. They saw multiple police cars in the neighborhood this morning and this afternoon. While officers are not releasing specifics of the investigation right now, they have received several calls from the community concerned about what's going on. Tonight, they tell us there is no current public safety threat and ask people to be patient while they continue to investigate. Authorities tell us they are planning to release additional details tomorrow, but again, they want to reiterate to concerned residents that while the investigation will continue, there is no active threat to the community.
Now back to our top story. Backlash over finger pointing involving the city's costly marijuana mistake. City leaders now calling for a resolution so it doesn't happen again. 5 on your side's Brent Solomon is live downtown to break it all down. Brent.
Well, Kelly, come January 1st, the city and dispensaries will charge you a tax if you purchase marijuana products. That money will benefit the city. That could have been happening for months now, but it hasn't. And question is, who's to blame?
So it's never been clear whose responsibility it really was, and it's not listed out anywhere.
An aide for the mayor addressing city leaders at a Budget and Public Employees Committee meeting Wednesday over how St. Louis missed out on hundreds of thousands of dollars in marijuana tax revenue. After the city passed the marijuana tax, someone was supposed to notify the state. No one did, and the mayor's aide says state law is unclear on who should have.
It wasn't in the ordinance that was passed. The Board of Elections didn't act on it like they had other times, and the mayor's office had no knowledge that it was our responsibility to do.
Some members of the Board of Aldermen finding fault with the assertion they should have done something.
I would push back and say I don't believe that it's the Board of Aldermen's fault. I don't think the board it's our role then to, after we legislate and pass a tax, and then reach out to the department, as we're not like a administrative body, we're the legislative body.
I don't want us to start saying, oh, well, it's this person's fault, it's this group's fault, it's this entity's fault, because one of the things that I definitely believe in is that leaders have to lead from the front, so we just waste time when we spend time making excuses.
I'm sorry that you and Alderman Aldrich are offended by what I said, but I'm standing here having taken responsibility for this issue.
That aide telling the Board of Aldermen that if there's a tax change in the future, they should put in writing who should notify the state. Leaders at today's meeting seem to agree that that's a good way forward. Live in St. Louis, Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
A live look at St. Charles tonight. The roads are dry on I-70 right now, but 24 hours from now, it will be a different story.
And Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is tracking a soaking rain moving into the region tomorrow, Scott.
We are, but tonight skies have been mostly clear to partly cloudy with just high thin clouds, and after hitting or even topping out above 60 degrees in some cases today, those temperatures tonight have dropped back to around freezing in some of the coldest spots. How about that sunset this evening? Wasn't that gorgeous? Those high clouds continue to streak overhead. Chesterfield in the valley right now at Spirit down to 29 degrees, 31 over in Mount Vernon. Smartfield in St. Charles at 33. There's the colder temperatures. It won't drop much more than that as these high clouds keep streaming in. What you don't see on this is anything on the radar yet. No, there's no moisture that's thick enough to make it to the ground. You've got to go down into Texas before you start picking up some rain. The energy's coming our way as we head into tomorrow night, early Friday, and with it, the moisture will move in from Texas. So it's a dry Thursday morning rush hour. Rain develops later Thursday, and that steady rain will spread in by this time tomorrow night. Some of it may be even moderate at times. It's good soaking rain. We'll tell you how much we expect to see in just about 12 minutes, Kelly.
All right, see you then, Scott. A tow truck driver is hit and killed while loading a vehicle this morning on Interstate 255 in Monroe County, Illinois. The driver has been identified as 57-year-old Wade Bivens of East Carondelet, Illinois. Illinois State Police say Bivens was walking around the tow truck when he was struck and killed by a pickup truck. AAA says this tragedy is a reminder to always slow down and move over a lane for first responders and emergency vehicles. It's the law in every state, and in Illinois, it includes any vehicle stopped with its hazard lights.
Tow truck drivers, emergency responders, their fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, and their lives that our other people are counting on. So, make sure when you're behind the wheel, especially on the highways, you're paying attention to what's around you and giving those workers plenty of space to do their job safely.
Police say the driver who hit Bivens stayed on the scene. The investigation is ongoing.
Please slow down and obey the signs. That's the resounding plea for drivers speeding through an intersection in North St. Louis. New tonight, people who live near Vandeventer and Ashland Avenues are sharing their concerns with our Robert Townsend.
Neighbors say it's been an ongoing problem.
Over the last 5 years, it has increased tremendously.
Driver,
very bad morning, noon, night.
after driver, even motorcyclists.
See that car just blew that stop sign? That's an accident waiting to happen.
Speeding through stop signs at the busy intersection of Vandeventer and Ashland Avenues in the Greaterville neighborhood.
It's a risk coming out on this part of the street.
Tuesday, we sat at the intersection for more than 2 hours and saw drivers repeatedly ignoring the stop signs.
They're just straight going through it. 2 and 3 and 4 cars right behind each other.
Joni Purnell and her husband's church is on Vandeventer, and there's a daycare center across the street.
We actually have to go and stand in the middle of the street to stop the traffic to make sure our parishioners can walk across the street safely.
There are other things that we can do.
12th Ward Alderwoman Sharon Tyus says many of the speeders are teenagers. She has a message for parents.
You need to be talking to your kids about the consequences of driving fast and possibly killing somebody.
3 years ago, Tyus sponsored a bill that brought speed humps to residential streets. Alderwoman Tyus tells me speed humps are not an option for Vandeventer Avenue because this is a secondary street. Meantime, nervous neighbors hope drivers hear them.
Slow down.
Robert Townsend.
Something really needs to be done.
5 on your side.
Alderwoman Tyus says under her current traffic calming plan, she will now explore what options are available that can help increase safety at that intersection. And St. Louis police are also planning to discuss options.
Cahokia Heights police are looking for 2 men believed to be connected to a deadly Thanksgiving Day shooting. Police are calling 21-year-old Scorian Johnson Jr. and 20-year-old Michael Hunter people of interest. 16-year-old Markel Staples was found shot to death last Thursday. Another teen with Staples was seriously injured. If you have any information, call the Cahokia Heights Police Department. Former Secretary of State and American diplomat Henry Kissinger has died. A winner of the Nobel Peace Prize, he leaves a legacy that is very much open to debate. Kissinger was known for his gravelly voice and German accent. He got credit for getting America out of the Vietnam War, opening diplomatic relations with China, and reducing tensions with the Soviet Union. But critics say he also enabled some of the worst offenses under President Nixon, including the secret bombing of Cambodia. Since leaving government in 1977, he's been consulted by presidents and members of Congress and has been granted audiences by modern leaders from around the world. Henry Kissinger was 100 years old. The tech industry continues to grow in St. Louis, and tonight it's getting a big boost. The technology and biological science hub, Cortex, just got a $7 million grant from the state. That money will be used to train people in the tech industry for free. Laura Barcheski talked with the CEO about how it works, Laura.
Mike and Kelly, this money is going towards several training programs that, as you said, are free and place people in tech and cybersecurity jobs right away.
The caddy goes into the bay. You golf?
This instructor is not talking about teeing up a shot on the golf course. They're teaching the next generation of tech workers in the Perscolas program at Cortex.
No college required. They take an aptitude test to get into the program. It's free, no tuition. And for 13 or 15 weeks full time, you work hard and they're going to train you to prepare you to enter the workforce for major employers, medium-sized companies, and even startups.
And a $7 million grant from the state of Missouri will help keep Cortex programs through 9 different training partners free and accessible to anyone who wants a job in the technology field.
There are thousands of unfilled tech jobs in our region alone, let alone the state, tens of thousands. And there's no way we're going to get there if we just rely on a typical 4-year college degree.
Jasmine Owens is a graduate of one of the programs, Cyber Up, where she specialized in cybersecurity, something she realized she had a passion for.
If you got technology running through your environment, you're going to need cybersecurity. So in order to do that, we need more talent in the pipeline. So that's what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about keeping my organization safe, but also letting the community know, hey, this is an opportunity that could change our legacy if we are afforded the opportunity to get into it.
Students have a direct connection to employers and can get to work right away.
They asked for input from companies locally to say, what are you looking for, right? And what are those things that make sense? What are those things that we need to make sure we're teaching? How can we best prepare the learners for ultimately a good job?
BJC Healthcare is just one of several companies hiring through these programs, hiring 4 graduates since the program started here in St. Louis.
Anyone who is interested in the training or programs or learning about more of the technology jobs, in the St. Louis area, you can head to KSDK.com where we have a link to that.
A curveball for St. Louis sports fans. The reason the Cardinals and the Blues could soon be changing channels. Holiday Grinches lurking online.
The majority of shoppers are going to buy at least half of their items online, so they really need to make sure that they're protecting themselves.
Tonight we're helping those making ends meet protect their hard-earned cash by deciphering what's a deal and what's deceit.
We made it into the bonus round Wednesday with sunshine and highs topping out around 60. Why the rain chances increase more as we head into Thursday because of that system, and how much rain we're expecting to see.
Tonight, another American has been freed by Hamas. Liat Banin was one of 16 hostages handed over in exchange for 30 Palestinian prisoners held by Israel. 8 other Americans, including Banin's husband, remain held in Gaza. These latest releases come on the 6th day of a temporary truce in the Israel-Hamas war, which has now expired. Negotiations continued for a possible extension of the ceasefire.
Well, the way you watch Cardinals and Blues games could soon change. Tonight, our partners at the St. Louis Business Journal are reporting that Diamond Sports, that's the parent company of Bally Sports Midwest, plans to drop regional sports broadcasts by September 2024. That's part of the bankrupt company's plan to pay back creditors through liquidation and selling off assets. Bankruptcy filings show Diamond's local subsidiary lost $13.8 million in the first 9 months of this year. Cardinals and Blues have not commented on the reports. Last month, though, you remember Cardinals President Bill DeWitt III said the team would work with MLB to produce and distribute game telecast, possibly without a cable subscription or regional blackout restrictions.
The big holiday shopping deals used to come just one day a year. Now you can shop from your couch, a laptop, tablet, or smartphone long past Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
It also means scammers have more time to try and rip you off. In tonight's Making Ends Meet, Michelle Lee shares what you can do to stay safe while shopping online.
Holiday shopping is in full swing, and with families keeping an eye on their budgets, many are searching for deals online.
The majority of shoppers are going to buy at least half of their items online, so they really need to make sure that they're protecting themselves.
Sarah Wetzel is with the Better Business Bureau. She says online scammers are working overtime to rip off eager consumers, and it's getting harder to spot those scams.
Around the holiday season, we can expect to see items that are at a much lower price, such as electronics, luxury items, sometimes even puppies. So you may see things at a lower price. It catches your eye.
The National Retail Federation is forecasting that online and non-store sales will climb as high as 9% this year, and scammers are taking advantage of that growing trend.
Money's tight for a lot of people, and when they see this lower price, they want to just go for it. But you have to beware.
The BBB has these 5 tips to help you avoid becoming a victim. Number 1, use your credit card to make online purchases.
This is an isolated source. That way none of your bank accounts are directly attached to that. But then also if you find that you have been victim to a scam, you can contact the credit card directly and try to get your money back, dispute that charge, and hopefully be able to get those funds back.
Which brings us to number 2. Buy from legit websites. Scammers often mimic the URL of a popular retailer to get you to buy fake items.
You want to look at that URL. You want to make sure the site's secured, so you want to look for that HTTPS, and then look for the little lock sign either by the URL or in the corner that protects you and your financial information.
3, don't be fooled by counterfeit goods on social media.
Well, that's where they're going to try and lure you in with low prices, or maybe it's those hot items that you can't find. And so you want to be careful that you are working with reputable companies and it's not just somebody trying to scam you out of your money.
4, do not click on links from random texts or emails.
That's how scammers are going to lure you into their fake websites. You could lose your money and your financial information, so you really have to be careful.
And finally, trust your gut.
Whenever you see a good deal, it may pull at your heartstrings. The stresses of shopping may get to you and you think it's a great deal, but once again, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
And here's a bonus tip. The BBB recommends checking the About Us or Contact Us section on the company's website. It's a pretty big red flag if the only way to contact an online seller is through a form. Back to you.
Well, tomorrow is the deadline to honor our veterans for the holidays. The local chapter of Wreaths Across America hopes to place 50,000 wreaths on graves at Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery. So far, they've only raised money for less than half that amount. Each wreath costs $17. If you would like to donate or help place those wreaths, we have a link in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. Again, the deadline is tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is here with the Weather First forecast. Scott?
Well, grab your umbrella out the door tomorrow morning. You won't need it first thing in the morning, but you will use it later in the day, that's for sure. Now, it's all rain. It's not going to be snow. Temperatures tonight vary across the region. We have a pretty good range. There are some low spots like Pacific where it's down to 32 degrees. We saw the Chesterfield Valley low spot there out of Spirit of St. Louis Airport where the wind has gone calm down into the 20s. And then Forest Park coming in with 44, 46 in Berkeley. So we have a range in temperatures. Lambert's still 48 degrees right now. So you have nearly a 20-degree spread going from Lambert down to Spirit of St. Louis. As the breeze picks up at any one spot, that tends to bring the temperatures back up. Winds at the airport now out of the south at 7 miles per hour. We do have a mostly cloudy sky, but it's high, thin cloud cover that we're dealing with now, courtesy of this system that's starting to spread moisture into the southwest. That system was offshore. Now we're seeing the rain and snow breaking out across parts of New Mexico and Arizona, and we're starting to get the Gulf of Mexico involved in this system. So the moisture is going to be increasing, and that moisture is going to be heading our way. That means clouds will increase as we head through the overnight into tomorrow. We may have a little sun out the door early tomorrow, dry early tomorrow for sure. But as we head towards lunchtime into the afternoon, our chances for scattered showers, they become more numerous and the chances go up. And as we head into the evening hours, we really think we're going to get a good shield of rain spreading across the region that'll be pretty steady for several hours. So we're going to make it back into the 40s here as we head through tomorrow, probably into the 50s until it starts raining. That rain really spreads in. The Festus Herculaneum Christmas Parade tomorrow evening, maybe looking at some rain for that. We'll time it out with Anthony early tomorrow morning. But look at the shield at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Almost all of the area getting a pretty good steady rain for about 4 to 6 hours. It'll start to wind down as we head towards daybreak here on Friday. That means the morning rush hour, while damp, won't be overly wet. And then just some scattered areas of drizzle and light showers through the afternoon on Friday. And not too bad temperature-wise. But again, decent rainfall tallies out of this, still highlighting that possibility east and southeast of St. Louis, where some spots get more than an inch of rain. Badly needed rain, and the ground is so dry, we're about 8.5 inches below the normal for this time of the year since January 1st. Dry as a bone out there. The ground will soak it right up. It'll move out of here by Friday evening. Saturday, Sunday, mostly dry this weekend, but we do have some clouds that'll be sticking around, and there's a small chance we might actually catch a brief shower, maybe in the middle of the night, Saturday night, early Sunday morning, and maybe, not a big impact.
Well, better that we get the rain before the weekend.
Right.
All right.
And it's not really cold.
Yeah. Scott,
So you
thanks.
like that.
Yeah. All right, Frank, what's up in sports?
Well, Mike, Luther Burden is going to live out the dream at Missouri. Wait to hear what Coach Drink says about him. A SLU soccer player may be doing it also. And on Frankly Speaking, we have some Cardinal thoughts for you.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
As we get ready to find out where Mizzou is bowling, it's time to reflect on Luther Burden. One site now has him as the top pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. He's not just a football player either. He's a trailblazing conglomerate. He's showing every 4- and 5-star player in this town it's okay to stay home. Now think about this. As a sophomore, he will be all SEC, maybe all American. Who knows, he could be a Heisman Trophy candidate next season. He's making mad name, image, and likeness money, and he's doing it on a team that just went 10-2 in the best conference in the country.
He's got his own brand. Why do you need to go anywhere else? And quite honestly, name me somebody who's left this state that's had that kind of success and been able to promote themselves in that sort of way. I just haven't seen it yet. Not saying it's impossible, but we're not selling something that hasn't been done. We're selling tangible results.
Speaking of fine wide receivers from the area, how about Isaiah Williams? The Illinois receiver was named first team All Big Ten today. Isaiah, who was a quarterback in high school, caught a conference-leading 82 balls for over 1,000 yards and 5 scores. He also threw for a touchdown. He's the first Illinois receiver to make it first team in 12 years. The UMSL volleyball team is having an awesome season. They began at 30-0. They're presently ranked 4th in the country. They will host the NCAA Regional starting tomorrow. The regional championship will be Saturday night at 7. Maybe we have a future national champion on Natural Bridge.
Other teams have to play their best to beat us, and even on days where we're not perfect or really good, we can still find ways to win, and I think that was the key to our success.
Our team chemistry is definitely a big thing, and I think that's helped with our record. We're very close as a team on and off the court.
Congrats to SLU women's soccer star Emily Gaby. She's now a semi-finalist for the Herman Trophy for National Player of the Year. She set the school record with 41 points this season, 16 goals, and 9 assists. Be with us Sunday night for Sports Plus. Our special guest will be Benji Molina, the 2-time Gold Glove Award winner, and Yadi's brother will break down the Cardinal pitching moves. Plus, we'll have the story of Mark Arneson, a standout linebacker with the football Cardinals in the 70s who had to deal with CTE at the end of his life. I'm an optimistic person by nature, and I genuinely like the Cardinals' moves. They got a #1 starter and 3 starters overall who may give you 600 combined innings next season. But here's the question they have to ask themselves. Are they trying to win a division or a World Series? You can win the Central right now, but do you really think you're as good as the Braves, Phillies, or Dodgers? But you can be. Another starter has to be added right now. They have a 1 and lots of 4s and 5s. And I wouldn't object to a bullpen arm either. And I think you need a bat too. Do you think there's any team in baseball right now that is not returning an outfielder with 20 or more home runs? So get a few pitchers, add a hitter, and the kids. Those kids, Gorman, Walker, and Nootbaar, have to blow up. And then you can think about the World Series. Come to think of it, that's what we used to do a lot of in St. Louis. And that's Frankly Speaking for tonight.
5 on Your Side is teaming up with the Foster and Adoptive Care Coalition for the Little Wishes campaign. We still have more than 2,800 wishes to grant for area children impacted by foster care. You can shop online or at Circle of Knowledge this Saturday in Sunset Hills. We have more info at ksdk.com/littlewishes. We'll be right back.
Gas prices have been dropping, but they'll really drop at some stations tomorrow afternoon. Circle K is holding another Fuel Day promotion. You can fill up for 40 cents off per gallon from 11 till 2. Subway is known for its footlong sandwiches. Now the restaurant chain is rolling out footlong cookies. Subway is offering them in Chicago and New York for National Cookie Day on December 4th. They'll be rolled out nationwide next month.
And if you really have a sweet tooth, it wouldn't be Christmas without candy canes. But is there a correct way to eat the sweet and sticky holiday treat? A new survey from the National Confectioners Association found 55% of people start with the straight end, 28% go for the curved end first, 17% just break it into pieces. And as far as what kind of candy cane, 73% prefer the classic peppermint.
I always thought of you as kind of a candy cane.
I like
very,
stale.
very sweet, but a little twisted. And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show's Jimmy Fallon is next.
I can't let you have the last word on that one. Have a great tomorrow.